With temperatures like these, the dispute over whether to wear neckties has a stranglehold over Arizona. This is Guy Atchley with the Tucson Boys Chorus in Beijing at the Ming Tombs. According to one legend, an emperor in the Qing dynasty wanted to move these statues to line the road to his own tomb. The Dead Sea is the lowest place on the surface of the earth. If you're wondering what this feels like, our tour guide probably summed it up best. She said you kind of feel like a matzo ball bobbing up and down in tepid, oversalted chicken soup. An estimated 50,000 people. This guy's going to be honking like crazy. Let's get this. Oh! That was close. It could be dangerous, even on the streets of Chufu.
Tonight on KGUN-9 News at 10.
Oh, I'm Guy Atchley.
And I'm Bud Foster. Recently, more and more Tucsonans have switched to KGUN-9 News at 5. And for that, we say thank you.
But many of you are still unable to watch us at 5, and that's why we'd like to invite you to watch us weeknights at 7. Santa, I see you're making your list.
Yes, and I'm checking it twice.
Well, where's my name?
Santa remembers last year.
What do you mean?
The spike in the fireplace.
Yeah, I guess I haven't been exactly an angel, have I? The Syrians controlled the Golan Heights from 1948 through 1967, during which time they planted a lot of mines. This is a minefield, and this says, mines beware. What do all these people have in common? They're all Guy Atchley's people, and you'll meet them on KGUN-9 News at 5 this week. One thing that really raises the ire of the public is instant analysis.
Well, I don't do instant analysis.
So, Don Collier, how are you?
Well, I'm fine, Guy. I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Our team coverage, Guy.
Colleen, we came to Washington to cover an impeachment, but tonight we are covering an act of war by the United States. Earlier in the day, they were so thick, the smoke was so thick and black that
Now, our next guest really doesn't need an introduction. He's been a familiar face on your TV screen in southern Arizona for 3 decades.
We wanted to take a few minutes to chat with KGUN-9 on your sides, Guy, and find out what it takes to bring you 30 years of the biggest stories in southern Arizona. Good morning, Guy. Thank you so
Good morning.
much.
And the answer to your question is a lot of gray hair.
I loved how your hairstyles changed over the years. To the side, there was a buzz cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that buzz cut, when I first went on the air, oh, we got over 50 calls within the first few minutes. Half of the people loved it, half of them hated it.
Well, I think you looked quite handsome.
Hey, thank you very much.
I'll be on that side of
I kind
it.
of enjoyed it.
Yeah, so 30 years.
Yeah.
What do you sit and you go, is this surreal? How does it feel?
I actually, when they had me come up and we had a little meeting for everybody in the station last Friday, and all those eyes were looking at me, that was a surreal moment when I stood there, and they gave me a standing ovation. Thank you to everybody in the station for that.
Well deserved.
Well, and I want to know, when did you get interested? When did you first, have that spark of, I
Well,
love journalism?
As a matter of fact, take a look at that picture right there. I was 19 years old. I was at a radio station in Tulsa called KMOD, because back then everything was mod. They had the Mod Squad on TV, and off the air we called the station Commode. But
That's a behind-the-scenes
That's
show,
where
yeah.
I started. That was on the 30th floor of the University Club Tower in Tulsa. And while I was there, that's when I got the bug. I thought, I started the University of Tulsa wanting to be on radio forever, but I thought, hey, I could be a star on TV.
Let's get your face out there. You've got a face for television. And so we were actually just chatting during the commercial, and you said you bounced around a lot, as a lot of people in
I
TV
did.
do, before you ended up here in Tucson. Why stay here in Tucson for all these years?
Because I had bounced around to 5 different cities. Started out in Tulsa, went to Miami, Florida, Milwaukee, back to Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and by the time they offered me the job here in 1984, I said, if you'll hire me, I'll stay. And I have.
And you have.
And
You
I'm
kept your
thankful.
word.
I'm so thankful to KGUN-9 for all that they've done for me here.
Well, and all that you've done for us, all the viewers and everything, and all the great stories that you've brought. Do you have one in particular that stands out as your favorite?
Can I tell you a story that just happened over the weekend that
Yes.
wasn't on TV?
Yes.
My grandson is 7 years old. His name is Payden, and he's been talking a lot about Ron Barber.
Yeah.
And I said, Peyton, why are you so fixated on Ron Barber? And come to find out, they've been running a spot, his opponent has been running a spot about Barber raising the debt. And come to find out, Peyton said, I want him to win because he thought he could raise the dead.
You heard it from a 7-year-old's mouth.
I couldn't believe it. He wants to vote for Barber. I told him he's too young.
Oh. That's the kind of things you cannot manufacture. That is like amazing. And so, you know, he should have him on. He could, you know, give you some good stories. We got people raising the dead. That is an amazing story. Again, you have had so many, you know, co-anchors, you know, not as, you know, as maybe witty as the 7-year-old bringing you those stories, but tell me a look back at some of the co-anchors that you've had and, you know, what you think about.
I started out with Stephanie White in 1984, and at the end of her 3-year contract, she said, Guy, I'm going to quit this job because I think the stress is keeping me from getting pregnant.
Oh.
She wanted to have babies. And today she lives in Renton, Washington, and she has 3 grown boys. Another co-anchor I had is Norma Concio, who still lives here in Tucson, and she has 5 boys.
Do you see a trend?
Yes.
There was a time where the rumor was if you anchor with Guy, you get pregnant and have to leave town.
Well, Guy, thank you so much for coming. We would love to pick your brain for hours and hours, but we are out of time.
I understand completely.
Yeah.
Still to come, get a preview of the new season of The Vampire Diaries on the CW with Sizzle TV host Stephanie Dunlap. We'll be right back.